Hi guys, my name is Mohamad Shahbirin and right now I will give an introduction to the Customer Profitability Analysis. So, the Customer Profitability Analysis is an analysis to determine the profitability of customers by a comparison of the cost of all activities used to support a customer or a customer group with the revenue generated by the customer of the customer group. So, the difference in customer profitability may be due to difference in revenue received from customers and the difference in resource used to service the customer. The difference in revenue might arise because customers are charged with different price through different distribution channels, while the difference in cost might arise because company using resource in different way. So, the technique that can be used to determine the CPA is activity-based costing, which is ABC. In determining the customer profitability, it is usually not practical to identify the profitability of individual customer unless there are a few of them. Therefore, customer may be grouped by the size, industry, market or distribution channel. For example, in the food processing industry, it may be useful to group customers by distribution channel to distinguish between the supermarket chains, independent grocers and smaller outlets such as 24 hours convenience store.
Thank you for the previous presenter. My name is Nuri Zawani. Okay, now we move to the next point, which is the reason why we use customer profitability analysis. Firstly, this is because it can help us to determine whether the particular customer is costing you money or making you money. Once you have a framework for measuring this, it becomes easy for you to analyze the customer profit as often as make sense for your business. With this, you may find that the customer segments that you believe are the most important are actually less valuable to your business than others. Then it is advisable for you to close your services to them, because by letting them go, you will make your customer base more efficient in your growth engine, and this observation can then be used to modify and shift your company strategy to keep your objective and goals on track. In addition, customer profit analysis also can provide a different perspective business profitability, because usually the management accounting system often focus on products, department or geographic regions but not on customer. So by having a customer profitability analysis, it allows managers to make a series of strategic decisions about which customers, markets or distribution channels need to be focused on. It also helps to identify cost control and cost reduction tracks. The next one, we have advantages and disadvantages of the customer profitability analysis. But we go for the advantages first. Number one is CPA can improve the company's profit by eliminating the non-profitable customer, and due to that, they can focus on maximizing their sales or services only to the profitable customer. In certain cases, the cost may be indirect. It is straightforward to fire client with low gross margin, but however, organizations should also consider removing customers that pay a high gross margin yet demand a lot of effort from its operations. And then number two is CPA can give more understanding of the true cost of each customer segment, including taking into account of non-production costs when determining the profitability, because sometimes non-production costs can be more significant rather than production costs. And number three is this analysis also can provide an advanced method, which is identifying customer group who are of lifetime value to the company and who are worth retaining and protecting. When high maintenance clients have been disposed of, then it is frees the organization up to focus on the more profitable customers. And number four is CPA also can improve strategic decision making. This is by providing useful information for customer related decisions, including pricing, discounting and marketing decision. And then CPA also has its drawback or disadvantages. The first one is the company may not have or lack the data capture system. This data capture system is used to produce an accurate estimation of customer segmental revenue and cost. It may result in consequences such as inaccurate information and irrelevant amount related. Second, there may be practical difficulties or challenges in calculating costs attributable to each segment, since implementing ABC is often challenging for many companies. Third, CPA also may overlook the combination of products or services purchased by customers. Customer profitability will depend on the mix of products or services, but some specific underperforming products or services might be included, and this overlook will impact the sales of the other product to the customer. And last but not least, annual profitability may not be representative of the lifetime value. The cost of attracting and retaining a customer should be compared with the lifetime earning and not just with the customer's annual earning. For example, Taco Bell sells tacos for less than $1 each. However, the firm has estimated that a loyal repeat customer will generate up to $11,000 over its lifetime. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, I am Nurul Izzati and I'm going to continue this presentation with customer cost analysis. So what is customer cost analysis? It is an analysis of the cost of product purchased by customers as well as the cost of any other customer-driven activities from any part of the value chain. The cost of product purchased by customers are assigned to customers along with the cost of any other customer-driven activities. So what is product cost and customer-driven cost? Product cost is the manufacturing and operating cost, while the customer-driven cost is distribution, marketing, selling and customer support. When we calculate both of these costs, the total customer cost will be identified, which is the actual cost of the customer need to pay. What are the purposes of the customer cost analysis? In customer profitability analysis, the cost of all the activities used to support a customer or a customer group are accumulated and compared with the revenue generated by the customer or customer group. The relative profitability of particular customer or groups of customers can be determined and used for a range of strategic decisions. The next one is the level customer-driven cost. The first level is order level. Order level are activities that are triggered each time an order is placed by a customer and are driven directly by the selling and delivery of individual customer order. For example, processing customer's order, raising an invoice, packing the product order, delivering the goods and collecting amount owed. The next level is customer level, which is activities that are related to acquiring new customers or maintaining each customer or customer groups. Negotiating with a new customer may trigger activities such as credit evaluation and making the initial customer contact. Maintaining an existing customer can involve ongoing sales calls, technical support, complaint handling, and cash collection. The last level is market level. Market level activities are related to a particular market or class of customers. These activities are performed to define and analyze customer needs, develop new technology to satisfy customer needs, maintain a presence in a particular market, and attract new customers. For example, it's including advertising, market research, and trade shows.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Azlan. Now I will present the approach and step to determine customer profitability analysis. Basically, the general approach of customer profitability analysis is based on revenue and cost attributable to each customer segment. So, once the customer segment is identified, the management can either maximize the profitable segment or reduce the less profitable customer segment. These both segments can be identified while doing 6 steps to customer profitability analysis, which I will explain in the next slide. So, the first step to determine CPA is to identify the customer segment in the company. Segmentation of customer can differ accordingly to company and its industry itself. So, the common segmentation that can be classified is demographic segmentation, which is based on observable characteristics such as geographical area, customer age, gender, and income level. And the second one is psychographic segmentation, which classify based on customer needs and behavior such as customer values, attitudes, and interests. So, once the segment is identified, company need to determine the revenue of each segment. The revenue will be calculated separately according to the segment, and it depends on the product and services they offer. There are also certain figures that need to be included in calculating the revenue, which are discount given to the customer, service price, and product enhancement fees. Now we move to step 3, which is to determine and calculate the cost from each customer segment by using activity-based cost method. ABC method is used because it is an effective method to determine both product or service cost and customer cost. We also need to bear in mind that customer costs also have a hidden cost that usually overlooked by the company, such as quality control and inspection costs, order picking, and customer ordering costs. Next step is the company need to analyze and identify whether the customer segment is profitable or not. So there are 3 situations that we can analyze, which the first one is profitable segment that indicate the revenue is higher than the cost. Next is the less profitable segment, which shows us that segment obtain less revenue from other segment. And lastly, non-profitable customer segment that indicate the revenue is lower than the cost or even show us the break-even point figure, which we also call as no gain, no loss. Moving to step 5, the company needs to develop strategies to maximize profit from profitable customer segment and eliminate less profitable or non-profitable customer segment. So, for the profitable customer segment, the company can either refine or develop further planning to create a long-term customer relationship by creating a customer retention and loyalty program. For less or non-profitable segment, company can use either 2 strategies, which the first one is to eliminate the product or services to this segment, and the second one is to re-engineering back the customer segment by turn the less profitable to more profitable segment. These strategies can be done by increasing the revenue or decreasing the cost attributable. Last step in determining CPA is to review all the strategies implied by the company after an appropriate time to see whether it is suitable or bring any benefit to the company or not. Now I will continue regarding the customer performance measure. This is important to the company to ensure the product and services is acceptable by customer and stay relevant within the industry. So basically, we can evaluate the customer's performance by looking at the 5 core customer measure. The first one is based on the market share. This can be measured by looking at the proportion of company sales to the retailer compared with industry sales to this retailer. The second one is customer acquisition, where we can see the trend of new sales and the sales of the product to the new customers. Next is the customer retention. This customer performance can be seen by the proportion of sales from existing customer compared with the total sales. Besides that, company also can measure the customer performance by doing customer satisfaction survey that consider both of their satisfaction and concern toward the product and services. The last one is customer profitability, where we can see the proportion of lost customer compared to the profitable customers.
So now we move on to the case study. The organization study in this case is a 4-star hotel located in Georgetown, Penang. This hotel used time-driven activity-based costing to calculate customer profitability. Okay, to understand more about this case study, we will apply the 6 steps of customer profitability analysis. So, the step 1 is customer segmentation. The hotel divide the customers into 5 segments, which is segment 1 until segment 5. So, segment 1 consists of senior and mid-level managers and executive-owned companies that travel for business purposes. These customers spend very little time in their room They tend to use hotels cafe, laundry services, and executive meeting room that are frequently used to entertain the visitors. Next, segment 2 consists of guests that are brought in by the travel agents under the group tour. These customers seldom use the food service at the hotel and also use the hotel's facilities that are free of charge for the in-house guests. Next, segment 3 consists of the guests that make reservation through online website or through direct call made to the hotel reception. They typically come and stay with the families and friends and use mostly of the hotel's facilities. Then, segment 4 consists of the guests who stay at the hotel when seminar, conference, wedding and other social events that are being held. These guests only pay for the room they rent and their food and beverage are usually covered under the payment made for the banquet hall or ballroom. Segment 5 consists of the walk-in customers where they either are brought by taxi from airport or when during the holiday season. Usually, no discount are offered to this customer and they must pay for their breakfast. Okay, next for the steps 2 is calculate revenue attributable to each segment. From the table, it shows the annual revenue for each customer segment of the hotel. So, segment 1 have the highest annual revenues while the segment 5 have the lowest annual revenues. Okay, now we move to the step 3, which is use attributable base costing to determine the cost attributable to each segment. So, the hotel have divided its cost center into 7 major areas, which are sales marketing, front desk, housekeeping, food services, banquet halls, facilities and securities, and lastly, external relations. After that, the management applies the time equation, which use the time-driven activity-based costing to reflect the resource demand of each activities. So, this table shows the example of the cost allocation for front office based on the time-driven activity-based costing for each customer segment. So, this table shows the annual cost for every customer segment where the segment 1 has the highest annual cost while the segment 5 have the lowest annual cost.
The next step is analyzing the profitable versus less profitable or unprofitable customer segments. The customer segments are ranked according to profitability. From the table, we can see that the highest contribution to the hotel profits come from the corporate clients, which are segment 1. This is because they tend to book the meeting rooms for discussion with other business visitors and also entertain people at the cafe for lunch and dinner at the hotel restaurant. The second highest relative profit is generated by guests under tour packages provided by agents, which is segment 2. The hotel personnel consider this customer segment as high maintenance guests because the cost of serving this customer is relatively higher. This is because they demand a lot of time from the hotel service staff. The third highest relative profitability is generated by individuals or families that come in through online booking or direct reservation, which is segment 3. This segment also generates a fairly high revenue stream and they use other facilities of the hotel such as tour packages and vehicles. The next step is to develop strategies to maximize profits from profitable customers and reduce less profitable or non-profitable customers. Based on the customer profitability analysis, the hotel decided to its marketing efforts. Firstly, is to pursue more corporate clients as this segment of customers is easy to manage and generates substantially high amount of profits for the hotel. Recently, the hotel recruited more marketing executives to contact and follow up with corporate clientele that needs to visit the Penang area, which has a large industrial and commercial zone that attract business travelers. The hotel is offering additional perks such as free airport pickup and drop-off services, discounts for using the banquet hall for corporate programs. Next, to attract customers staying for the social event, which is segment 4. The management is focused on bringing in more events such as seminars, conference, weddings, and parties. The marketing team is going through event management companies and ramping up social media advertisement targeted at this group. The next step is to identify the impact of the new strategies on the performance of the customer segments. Based on this analysis, the hotel management was able to identify the most profitable customer segment, which is segment 1. Besides that, it helped to ensure that the company did not waste its time and resources on focusing on those that demand more time with lower benefits for the firm. This can be seen where the hotel did not make any additional investment in promotional for segments 2 due to high customer costs. Lastly, the hotel is able to ramp up its marketing strategies based on the different customer segment accordingly by focusing on segment 1 and segment 4. The foregoing case study illustrates the fact that not all customers are the same value to a business organization. Higher sales growth in terms of volume does not necessarily translate to higher profit for a firm. Therefore, organizations that measure customer profitability can distinguish between different customers or different customer segments and tailor their marketing strategies to create maximum impact in terms of profitability. In this case of this hotel, the management was able to identify the customer segments that required minimum effort to generate maximum profits and ensure that they did not waste their time focusing on those that demanded more time with lower benefit for the firm.